Every society, every organization, every family has a social order, a hierarchy. Whether we notice them or not, these hierarchies set the rules, determine who leads, and shape how we act. Welcome to Social Theory Today. Today we're exploring how power hierarchies define behavior, ethics, and self-worth through Social Accreditation Theory, or SAT. Let's take a closer look at why hierarchies exist, how they're maintained, and how they influence our lives. Hierarchies aren't just a part of society, they're part of human nature. They create order, set expectations, and distribute power. Every social system, whether it's the military, a workplace, or a family, has a hierarchy that determines who's in charge and who follows. But why do we rely on hierarchies so much? It's because they provide structure and predictability, especially in complex social settings. Through SAT, we can understand that hierarchies give people roles and purpose. When you know your place in the order, you know what's expected. You have a role, a set of duties, and a standard to live up to. But along with these expectations come pressures and rewards, often based on obedience and conformity. Obedience is the backbone of hierarchy. In any structured system, obedience to authority helps maintain order. In the military, it's critical. In a family, it provides security. But obedience isn't just about following rules. It's about upholding the values and power structures of the hierarchy itself. Social accreditation theory shows us that obedience is rewarded. When you follow the rules, you're validated as a good soldier, employee, or even child. But in obeying, people also start internalizing the hierarchy's values. The reward isn't just external, it becomes internal, shaping your sense of right and wrong, and in many cases, questioning authority isn't just discouraged, it's sanctioned. With authority often comes paternalism, the belief that those in power know what's best for those below them. In families, parents act as authority figures, often knowing what's best for children. In organizations, managers make decisions with a similar mindset, assuming their position gives them insight and responsibility to lead. This paternalism can create stability, but it can also lead to moral dilemmas. Hierarchies can push individuals to adopt the values of their superiors, even if those values conflict with personal ethics. SAT helps us see how people may sacrifice personal morality for the sake of loyalty, obedience, or fear of punishment. In bureaucracies, for example, the chain of command often protects leaders from direct accountability, while pushing the weight of obedience onto subordinates. In bureaucracies, hierarchies are especially powerful. Rules and procedures dictate every action, and everyone has a defined role. Bureaucracy exists to keep order, ensuring that rules are followed to the letter. But there's a downside to rigid hierarchies. Bureaucratic systems can lose sight of individual needs and ethical concerns. In a bureaucratic hierarchy, actions are often driven by procedures, not personal judgment. This rigid adherence to process can lead to moral distancing, where people feel less responsible for the ethical impact of their actions. SAT shows us that when rules are everything, people may obey blindly, focusing on their place in the structure rather than the consequences of their choices. In a hierarchy, moving up is often seen as the ultimate goal, a symbol of success. Promotions, awards, and recognition signal to others that someone has earned a place of respect. Social accreditation theory explains that moving up in a hierarchy doesn't just give power, it reinforces self-worth and identity. You're validated not only by others, but by your achievements within the structure. But not everyone climbs the ladder. For many, staying in one's place in the hierarchy can create a different kind of worth. Knowing their value in the support roles they play, this stability can bring a sense of purpose, but it can also lead to resignation, a feeling of being stuck if there's no room for growth or recognition. Of course, not everyone accepts their place in the hierarchy. When people feel unjustly treated or undervalued, defiance can surface. Defying authority comes at a cost, but it's often the only way to challenge the hierarchy's power structure. SAT helps us see that defiance isn't always about disrespect. It's sometimes about standing up for personal integrity, values, and fairness. When someone challenges a hierarchy, they're not only risking sanctions but disrupting the entire social order. In these moments, we see the true power of hierarchy, the lengths it will go to in order to maintain control. Defiance exposes the cracks in the system, revealing how hierarchies use both rewards and punishments to uphold their values and their power. Hierarchies are part of the fabric of our society. They give us order, roles, and purpose. But SAT shows us that there's a balance between structure and freedom. While hierarchies can provide stability, they also require obedience, sometimes at the cost of personal ethics or growth. By understanding the dynamics of hierarchy, we can become more aware of the roles we play, the values we adopt, and the choices we make. Thanks for joining us on Social Theory today. Hierarchies shape our behavior and our lives, but the power to choose how we navigate them is ours. Join us next time as we explore more of the forces shaping our world.